Hi, I'm Lise Colucci, and I am I think I started before we started, so I'll start again. Hi, I'm Lise Colucci, and I'm one of the life coaches at Queen Being. I am here to help you as you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. And today I am going to do a live stream here. And again, I'm going to fix it. I'm never get the camera right to begin with. It gives me this tiny little screen to check out in the beginning. Anyway, hello. I'm going to keep it short today. I have a meeting after this with someone, and I want to talk about that too. That will be exciting for you guys. So anyway, we'll get started. Anyone that pops in, go ahead and feel free to start chatting. I am going to talk to you a little bit about financial abuse. And I had a question that was financial rules for dating and marriage, how to prevent and protect from financial abuse in intimate relationships. And I think it comes down to the same rules as to protect yourself from anything, and that is go slow. Get to know someone and do not offer or share financial gifts too soon with anyone. I mean, if you're, hello, hi, Angel. If you're a person this person describes they were used to sharing bills, and that's normal for them in their life. So if you're a person that is your normal, then I would say you have to step back and go really slow when you meet new people, because a narcissist will hone right in on that and take advantage of it. Actually, any toxic person will. In fact, maybe even not toxic people would, because it's an easy out for their own financial needs. So it's the same as when you're dating. Hello, Diane. Hi, Mary Ann. It's the same as when you're dating anything that requires boundaries, and financial is a huge boundary. Requires going slower, and especially after you've been abused more than once or once. But really get to know someone, understand what their financial or any topic really, what their actual morals are and their actual beliefs are about it, not just what they tell you. So watch how they spend their money, watch how they spend money on other people, watch how they pay other people back, watch, just pay attention to these things. And if it's something where you're equating your financial giving with your worth, then there's a place to look for yourself, and so that you can see that you are not the money you make. You're worth way more than a financial dollar. So I guess that's it. You guys have anything you want to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to just keep talking, and I'm going to keep it short today. So if there's anything anyone wants to talk about, hit me up. I have a dog rolling around the floor. She's about to start howling. She does this every time. It's like she hears me talking, and that's a cue to get really excited. So we'll hope she doesn't. Otherwise, what are you guys doing this weekend? You have any self-care plans, or how are you taking care of yourselves? I am currently exhausted. I woke up way too early and went to bed way too late, and so I'm a little frazzled. So my self-care is going to be a nice long nap today at some point, probably later this afternoon, and a lot of doing nothing. And that's what it's going to be today. So what are you guys doing? You too? You tired and just taking it easy? Nap, yes, right? How do you know if you're healed? Well, say more. Ask me more about that, because in one sense, because things are so layered, one thing may be healed and we're recovered from, and we're just like in normal life with it, so to speak. And then another thing may be just awakening, that it needs healing. So it kind of depends on what you're talking about. Usually if you're coping well, if you are having the triggers that come along with it, I mean, everything creates triggers, right? Everybody has them. It's not something unique to survivors of narcissistic abuse. Everybody has triggers. So if you have a trigger come up and you cope with it in the sense that you're actually experiencing it, understanding what it is, and moving through it without shoving it into the back of your mind, you're actually feeling it and then saying, okay, and doing whatever it is your coping skill is that's healthy to go on with your day. and you realize after that you have recovered, you're probably pretty much from that particular thing, at least on the road to healing. And if not that particular thing, maybe healed. I had one person describe it to me as she no longer felt like she had open wounds. She felt like she had scars, but those scars were not bad things. They were reminders of where she was and reminders of how far she's come. So that's a metaphor for it. I don't know what else without specifics. Yeah, this is Angel, right? I live at home with your narc mom. Okay. And you're helping out with Thanksgiving, cleaning, and shopping. Ugh. What can you do to make the most of that? Right? That's hard. Yeah, you love naps. And Diane says, you saw a post about moving in with dating. How do you know if you're ready? Moving in like with a partner, like after you've been dating a while? How do you know if you're ready, or moving on? Maybe you meant moving on with dating. So that, how do you know you're ready to date? Is that your question? I'm assuming that's your question, because moving in and dating probably wouldn't go together. Moving on. Okay, good. And it could be my eyes too. Like I said, the eyes there. Anyway, how do you know you're ready to move on? I think a lot of that is trial and error. You test it out, and if it doesn't feel right, you back off. I mean, the thing is, you have to realize it's your choice and it's your life. No one's forcing you to date. And once you're dating, you don't have to stay. You don't even have to stay on the date you're on. You can excuse yourself and say, I'm sorry, I need to go home. Thank you for the time, whatever. You don't have to do anything. So if you are interested in beginning dating again, well, first of all, most people aren't interested in it for a while, or they're interested in it because they feel so lonely, it's the only way they know to escape. And so in those two instances, I say the person's just not ready. But if you're like thinking about it and it's fun to talk to people, or the idea of it doesn't sound horrifying, then you might just try it out, go slow, really check people out in their behaviors, in their actions, watch for red flags, but also don't assume every red flag means the person's a narcissist. I mean, everybody has red flags. We have red flags. It's an accumulation of red flags, and multiple red flags, and certain ones that are absolute no's. So it's learning your own boundaries, and when you're like really clear with your boundaries, or at least pretty clear what you want, then you might be ready to test it. And also knowing what you want. This is a good one with dating, knowing what you want versus what you don't want. So a lot of times we get to a point where we're like, well, I don't want that, and I never want that again, and I certainly don't want this, and that's a no. But we don't actually come up with what we do want. So we're not really seeking to attract what we want. We're seeking to attract what we don't want, if that makes sense. So I would say getting a little bit more clear on what you do want, from a relationship, from another person, from companionship, just the whole thing. And as you become more clear with that, your boundaries will start to show up, and you'll be more clear in yourself. Let's see. Yeah, you can't imagine. Yeah, the dating. Yeah. Still trying to figure out how to tell your narc mom you want to leave without her blowing her lid. I don't know that she won't blow her lid, honestly. I would say get your plan in place, get your ducks in a row, so that so when you do it, it's a swift move, and it's kind of a done deal before it even starts, so that there's no push-pull going on. I mean, you're pretty clear. You're very clear. You've got a place lined up. You've got your stuff packed and ready to go. I mean, like really ready. And, have your financial plan in place, have friends to support you on the other side. As far as telling her goes, I would say wait till all that's in place if you can. And then you're working on that plan right now. Good. Yeah. Just keep working on it and hash it out, and, run it by people that, like Angie or myself or whatever, to help you feel secure in it, if that helps. And then your biggest problem is social isolation. Right now it is. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to read back here. When Marianne says, when someone's nice, it scares me back to dating, I'm assuming. So yeah, that makes sense. And I think we have to become comfortable again with someone being nice. And we have to realize that nice is not love bombing. If someone's nice, but they still have interest outside of, putting it all on you or themselves, in other words, they talk about things they like or try to ask you about things you like. I think it's like understanding the flavor of the nice, if that makes sense, or uh, and also learning to trust yourself again so that you don't fall into the nice so fast. There are a lot of nice people in the world that know how to be nice. That doesn't mean you have to like fall for every single one of them and think it means more than it does. So it's like learning to have boundaries with yourself too, to hold back enough, maybe not even hold back, just hold yourself enough as an individual person and not fall right into the niceness, if that makes sense. So maybe, I don't know, that's a thought on the nice. Let's see. Diane agrees with Marianne. She can't even hold a conversation because she was so unimportant to her ex. Yeah. Yeah. And then it's like the opposite if someone's nice, right? It's sort of mind blowing and overwhelming. Yeah. Angel says it's learning balance. That's such a hard thing to do sometimes. It really is learning balance. All of it is really. And learning balance about how much is me putting too much into this? Because a lot of times if someone's nice, we just start assuming things. And really they're just nice. It's not even a thing, right? And other times we start assuming things and we're right. They are trying to manipulate. So I think learning balance in yourself, learning to contain and not even control, but just sort of hold your own feelings about things and realize that where your tendencies are to fall into, you're always looking for their angle. Yeah. I wonder what do you feel? Do you tend to get too involved with them, like thinking that it means more than it does? Or do you it sounds like you tend to just put up a wall and say, no, something's off. They're being too nice. Like they must want something. Yeah. Well, here's the truth. Everybody wants something. We all want something from one another, whether it's companionship or friendship or something nefarious. We all want something. And so the truth is there's probably truth to that. They do want something. It's the what do they want that we need to find out, right? And that takes time and trusting yourself. That's it, Diane. That's the wall. Yes, the wall. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. It's sometimes people have said trying things like meetups instead of dating apps. In other words, like meet through friends, meet in groups, find things where there's like social events where there's people, or if you're going out with someone new, do it in a very public, very social environment so that it's not so much pressure to have all this one-on-one, like hyper-focused time. And then you get to watch people in the world and see what they behave like. Angel says, I've never dated anyone past a month because she had bad role models. Yeah. Do some group things first. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think I've heard also said, do things in many situations when you get to know someone. So a group thing, private thing, family thing. I mean, not necessarily around your children, but brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, their family, their friends, and do different events, play board games, even if you don't like them, just play it to see what the person is like. People show a lot when they play board games. They do. And things that, different types of things. So if you're always like going out to dinner or getting drinks or getting coffee and then, taking these long walks or doing just one thing, you never get to see the scope of a person. So it's seeing them in many situations. I heard a story of someone that the guy seemed perfectly fine. As soon as they got with a group of friends for the first time, blew his lid about some minor thing, and she realized that was toxic. He's out. So, it's seeing, it's not only is this person a narc, is this person compatible with my life? And if you do multiple different things in different types of situations, then you can kind of see, and they can see if the two of you are even compatible in the way you live. So it's not complicated. It's too complicated, right? Anything else today? I'm thinking more about your mom and the moving out thing too. I don't know how far you are along with it, and I'm glad you're working on a plan. Support is going to be important for you, having a support team around you, friends, other relatives that are safe, anything. Support group, anything, just something that you have someone kind of holding your hand as you do it, because breaking off with a parent is a whole nother ballgame when we're talking about going low or no contact or just severing some ties with a narc. So support's going to help you. Great ideas. This is why I love this group. Yay. Okay. You're in therapy right now and your family situation is horrible. Okay. None to speak of, really. Okay. Okay. Therapy's great. And if you're in any, like in SPAN or the ACON group, there's also an ACON, Adult Children of Narcissists, group coaching starting soon. That might be something. Colleen's going to be leading that. I think it should start in December. So anyway, that's something to think about if you need it. The friends you have are scattered across the country. And they do support you. Good. Yeah. Just kind of, knowing you can lean on people helps. You've been looking into it. Good. Yeah. Keeping the support will help you through this. And it's, it is different that, I don't know what you're feeling about it. So I'm not going to put words in your mouth. And obviously we're not actually speaking one-to-one. So it's different. I'm sorry. I'm babbly today, guys. I had literally no sleep. So let's see. Anyone else? Right? Yeah. I can't think of anything else to talk about right now. What's going on in my brain? Self-care. That's all I think about. What can I do? So with the holidays coming up, you guys are preparing. How is everyone doing with that? What are you going to do if there's triggers, or are you guys keeping yourself sort of protected from that? You had to sit through 7.5 hours of a deposition. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, decompress. Absolutely. It's almost like, I don't even know what would decompress that. Comedy or silence? I don't know. The silence might make it ring in my head. Music, laughter. I don't know. What's helping you? What helps you decompress there? That might help other people to read or hear. You're open to ideas. I don't know. Do you hear the deposition going like, woo, I got blurry, rolling over and over in your head? Why won't it fix? Okay. Or is it you're just kind of checked out? You cried a lot. Okay. That's intense. That's a lot of hours doing one thing, and it's a lot of hours doing one thing that isn't necessarily positive and is pretty stressful. And you hear it going over and over. I would replace it with some other sound. It's one of those things. It's like getting a song stuck in your head that you can't get out, and sometimes you got to just listen to something else. I would try something funny. I don't know what's funny to you, so I would try something to just lighten up my mood. And I mean, it sounds like you've cried about it and you've been decompressing overnight, so it's not like you're avoiding what you're feeling. It's more just you've listened to lots of music. Okay. Activity can help if I know you're tired and you're worn out, but something a little bit active, something to engage your mind in, even word puzzles. Like I'll just obsess on Scrabble for a while or word searches or something, just to get my mind on. It just puts my mind on letters, so I don't think about the thoughts. But it's actually also kind of somewhat, it makes you use your brain a little bit. I mean, it's not super thinking stuff. So it's kind of a good balance for me. I don't know, other people like number puzzles or just like board game type puzzle, like actual puzzles can help. Something to get your mind engaged that isn't heavy. It doesn't really matter if it starts, finishes where you leave it. But at the same time is engaging might help. Because our minds just get locked in that loop of thinking, and then the emotions take over and then we're stuck. You want to take a walk, but having a hard time getting out of bed. A reward, maybe get up, get out of bed, take a walk, and then you get to lay in bed and watch Netflix. I don't know, like that helps me a little, giving myself rewards. Or sometimes you just got to do it. You got set a timer for 10 minutes from when we're done here. Give yourself 10 minutes to stare, or 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Set a timer for 5 minutes after we're done here. And that's when you hop out of bed, you put your clothes on, you go take a walk. And then when you're out there, you can determine how long you want to be out there. Force yourself. That's what Diane's saying. In an hour, you'll feel better that you did. Absolutely. Hi, Phoenix. I like timers because they go off and you're like, all right, it's sort of like getting your alarm in the morning. Okay, fine, I'll do it. And you get up and do it. So, and check in later and see if it did help. When you're on a walk, just breathe. Just try to breathe and let your thoughts be there. It doesn't matter. Just keep going. Then again, I'm still in bed. I would be too were I not here. See, I did it this morning. You can do it too. Seriously, was like, should I just lay here instead? No, I want to talk to people. Right? You are getting ready to bake with your daughter. What are you making? Are you making like holiday food or just for fun baking? How you doing, Phoenix? What's going on with you today? We're just chatting about anything. So if you have any questions, I'm going to go in about 10 to 15 minutes. So any questions? You're here listening. I'm tired today too, says Cindy. Didn't rest well. Well, what's up with the not sleeping? It was a weird day. Everyone was, Friday was, the F-bomb Friday, as Angie coined it, and other people have coined it. So it was a weird day, and it wasn't just here. It was everywhere. Just crazy stuff going on, and then nobody slept last night. So I don't know what's going on. Cupcakes with cookie dough frosting. Yum. Okay, well, enjoy that. Phoenix says you're couch surfing and grateful for friends. That is a hard thing and an amazing benefit too, an amazing thing to be grateful for. Absolutely. I know, yum, right? We do need to shut down. Diane says we all need shutdown days sometimes. We totally do. And we also need to, like, if we know we need to do something, like if you know a walk's going to make you feel better, we just got to do it. And that can be part of your shutdown day, because actually coming back to bed is much more, to me anyway, it's much more of a treat than laying there all day, if that makes sense. But yeah. So you're couch surfing, and we need cupcakes, right? With cookie dough frosting. Oh, so good. Is this like are you just baking for the fun of it? Just to make cupcakes? Because that's awesome. Maybe I'll bake. All these good ideas. Take a walk, bake. You see, it's helping. It's helping me. Cindy says she had a nice man friend over last night and cooked dinner for him and cookies for dessert. Oh, how fun. Yes, it's your daughter bond through cooking and baking. Oh, that's nice. That's nice to do. What else do we have today? Any other questions here so I can just ramble with my rambling ways? I know, I love cookies too. I may bake some grain-free cookies, which sounds really gross, but they're delicious. So I may do that today. Cookies. Let's have a cookie talk. What kind of cookies do we like? Oh my gosh, I'm getting daffy. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about this book here. It's called The Magpie Art, Gathering the Brightness of Every Day. And I've been reading it in little bits of it, not reading it, reading a passage from it in my groups. That you love my rambling talk. Thank you. It's by a man named Paul Weinfeld. It's got the most beautiful, short, meaningful passages in it that I'm kind of in love with this book. And I'm going to be talking to him in an hour here, hopefully, if all works out. And I'll have more information on that through the week. But anyway, it's a great book. If you guys want something inspiring that offsets all the narc stuff, this is a very inspiring book. You see, it looks like this. Anyway, that's my rambling for today. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any issues other than dating and narc moms going on, or more about that? If you have other questions, you keep talking, or I have to get out of bed. Okay, well, keep talking to me, and I'll keep talking to you. Have 15 minutes, and then your timer goes off, right? Um, let's see. What can we talk about? I don't have anything right now. You see, what happens is I try to get the. Can you get Evolution of Echo on Kindle? You can. You can. I have it on Kindle, so yes, you can. Is it Kindle or is it Amazon? Yes, I think it's Kindle. I'm almost positive you can. Yes. I don't have my hard copy yet. That's too bad. I should get that. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything more with the dating or the mom, the narc mom stuff? I could go on. Yes, it is awesome. I've read it on my phone, and I believe it was through Kindle. So not all of it, but I've read a lot of it. I think we're good. Anybody else? I'm just waiting a second to see if anyone has anything. Sometimes basic self-care is antidote. Basic self-care is everything. I mean, if you can create it's not everything, but you know what I mean? If you can create self-care as your way of moving through the world, like taking care of yourself all the time and seeing that the things that you already do for yourself are self-care instead of just things you do for yourself, if that makes sense, then it starts to build on itself. And Cindy is learning that, she says, yes. It starts to build on itself, and it changes your attitude a lot in your life, because the more you focus on what you're doing for yourself, you then focus on what you're doing for other people in a different way. You focus on what you, I don't know, it just shifts everything. So yes, it's huge. That's your biggest way of coping with everything, right? What do you do for self-care in that regard? And what would you need help with? Because that's an area I'm pretty good at talking forever on. So that Ms. Marianne does not have to get out of bed. We can just talk about self-care. So what is it that you do, and what would you like help knowing how to do more of? Or where do you feel like, if anything, that maybe certain areas aren't getting care? And I can throw some ideas at you. So much gratitude for this learning and support and awareness. Absolutely. And gratitude for you guys coming in and talking to me as well. You got a mani-pedi yesterday, and so I'm doing self-care. Okay, good. That sounds good. Hey, something to do today. See, I can take a walk, bake cookies, and have a pedicure. Cindy says, yes, I'm realizing that I do a lot more self-care than I realized. Right. And I wonder what happens with that as you realize it. Does it increase in your day, or does it stay the same? Or is it just something you realize and go on with it? And also, do you feel, when you start noticing the self-care that you already do you feel any change in your gratitude toward yourself? And if not, how can we encourage that? Angel says, a lot of mindful meditation, pampering with makeup and skincare and stuff, and focusing on my passions. What are your passions? That's exciting. That's the best part, right? Because it's all good stuff, but that's where you can goal set and start moving toward a future rather than being stuck in the maintenance mode, right? And the mindfulness and all the pampering is great. It's amazing, but the mindfulness and the focusing on your passion are super forward-thinking things. So it's amazing. It's great. Music and education. Okay, you've been playing piano for 19 years. Oh, lovely. Music. Yes. You see, so okay. Diane says, I think my outlook as a whole changes with self-care, and that just snowballs into other areas. Yes, that's how I'm experiencing it, and that's how I coach it. So I'm glad that helps, because it's exactly the hope that I have for people. Angel says, I'm hoping to go back to school in January to finish my degree in music therapy. Oh, exciting. Despite being told I can't handle it for whatever reason. You can totally handle it. We can handle anything, right? We're already handling them. We've already handled the worst. We can handle school. Um, Especially if you're able to get away from the toxicity, that will help a lot. You're a musician too, yeah. Getting away from it, that it will free up all that space that's being used on the stress to give you time to focus on your passion. So that's another focus. I believe it was you talking. I'm sorry, I lose track of who's saying what, and I just start talking to the general room here, and I can't. Were you talking about your mom? I think it was you talking about your mom. I can scroll back and actually look without asking you, but oh, I know I can. Yes, that's the biggest thing. I face so much discouragement. That's what I'm trying to counter and leave. Yeah, it is you trying to leave. Of course it is. The emotional abuse. Yes. And I can't wait to hear you on the other side of that, because especially with a passion and a known on a goal that you have for yourself. I mean, that combination of getting free and having a goal can really change your life. So especially with support, underneath behind you. Um, I'm a closet rock star. We need to get a band together. Heck yeah. I see that. I see it now. Love it. You guys start the band. I just moved from my mom's to my own place. Cindy says, I look around and I see all the things I've been given and provided for myself, and I'm grateful. A lot of, so it looks like the word got cut off. Yeah, that's amazing. That's something to really be grateful for and to really notice that you did for yourself. I'm happy that you were able to see that and see it in that way. Um, Phoenix recently discovered the power of wailing the blues. Yep. We have paid our okay. And Angel says she's proud of you. Yes, it's moving out into your own place and looking and you look around and see all the things I've been given and provided for myself. I love that. And keep going with that, because those are the things, noticing. It's easy to just um, move. And Angel, this to you, as you are going through this and preparing yourself to make a big change like this, and is noticing the things that you're doing for yourself as you're doing it. So when you do get out, notice that you did that for yourself, and that even if there's pain and whatever else involved, um, like Cindy says, seeing what she did to create her own life now, and it's those are the type of self-care that I'm talking about when we make it a lifestyle, because it gets in our minds and we start changing our thoughts. We start changing our neural pathways based on that belief rather than the belief that's been put in there from the abuse and the emotional abuse. So um, Cindy says, oops, I need to work on increasing my self-care in all areas, taking care of me. I was scared to death to move out. I'm learning. I'm sorry. You wrote it right. I'm reading it wrong. I'm learning and appreciate living alone. Yeah. How did you get through the scared to the doing? I'm curious about that. What was the point that led you from I'm terrified to do this to actually doing it with the moving on in your life? And I'm glad you're working on increasing your self-care in all areas. And do you feel like noticing the things you do gives you ideas to increase in that area? Or sometimes it's like, oh, I'm doing pretty good here. Oh, I could increase there. And does it give you like a curiosity about self-care? Or what is it making you feel as you start noticing and learning to increase it? Sorry, I keep getting blurry, guys. Okay, I got about 3 minutes here, and then I'm waiting to see if anyone answers. And if not, I'm going to end the chat here. I'm still thinking about cookies and cupcakes. See, we can have so many thoughts in our head all at one time, so many feelings. Marianne says, mine was determined to prove I could do it. That's what what inspired you to leave, was you were determined to prove you could. Oh, I like that. Where did that determination, did it come while you were also feeling extremely, low at the same time? Or did it come like the wave? How did that hit you? Like, sometimes people are so low, or they're so feel so defeated, or they're so full of cognitive dissonance. You were beat down, yeah, but at the same time, you had determination to prove it. Doesn't that say a lot about your character? It's beautiful, yeah, it says a lot about who you are and how you, how you maneuver through hard times and self-preservation, and I like that a lot, and so, yeah, you can use that determination to get up and take your walk. You see how I push? Anyway, um, Diane says, "I'm the same. If you tell me I can't, I probably will." That's so interesting. I'm so the opposite. So the opposite. And yet I so admire people like you guys, because and I've seen it in many survivors that they have this, they can get beat down and they are completely, um, sort of just, unable to get out of bed almost, or just completely, wrapped up and full of cognitive dissonance, and then suddenly this determination kicks in that's always been in them, but it wakes up again, and there they go. So it's lovely. Anything else, you guys? Okay. So Cindy says, my mom pushed me out of the nest. I've been living with her for 2 years since I split. Okay. More realization of self-care. I'm already doing more what I want to do. It's like I've turned a corner. Excellent. That's good. Sometimes being pushed out is what we need, really. And um, that's hard. But I like the way you took it and turned it around into taking care of yourself. And now you're seeing the benefit of it. So that's good. It was death or me, and I chose me. Yeah, that's lovely. It's powerful as hell, Marianne. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's that determination is powerful. Cindy says, "I wish I was in my I was in my comfort zone." Oh, at her house, yeah, you were totally in your comfort zone and not living your life for you, probably, and so it was time, right? Um, all the kissy faces. I love that kissy face. It's a cute one. It looks like little birds. Um, Sorry, gonna babble again. I think we're at our end here, you guys, today, and I will come back next week. Let's see. I may come in on Thanksgiving. You guys gonna be around? If you're around, let me know. Hit me up in Span and just let me know you'll be around, and or I'll put a post, see if anyone is around to live to chat here. And I may come in on Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be an interesting day for some people, and maybe some support will be needed. And I'm not doing anything, so sounds good. Let's see. This was great. I want cookies. I want cookies too. And there are none in my house, but this was still great, right? There are none in my house either, and that's on purpose because I will eat them. But Diane, you enjoy baking, and Marianne, get your walk in. Go do it. You'll like it. And the rest of you, take care. And anyone watching this, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. I'm thinking Thanksgiving. So see you Thursday. Bye.